What up, everyone? It's your boy, Satem Ali, the Reverend of the Revolution, welcoming you to another edition of your Daily Revolution, the podcast and the movement that helps you to wake up, turn your brain on, and to prosper every single day in every part of your life. Today's topic: how much is that going to cost? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. In this game of growth, expansion, becoming, doing, achieving, obtaining, in the game of life, sports, marriage, human beings, we are always trying to get somewhere and achieve and accomplish something. And as a coach, as a speaker, as an author, as a trainer, my goodness, as a husband, as a father, just as a human being, I love helping people. That's why I do a podcast. That's why I write a book. That's why I do workshops and seminars and deep dive intensives and coach people. Now, look, recently I had a gal who wanted to come to one of my events. And it's so fun because they go through all this video and, they literally watch a 60-minute documentary. Then they watch more videos and they get a really good sense of what they're going to get. And then they fill out the application, and on there they already know it's a $10,000 experience to come down to Southern California and to work with me. For a 4-day intensive, it's a week of their life, blood, sweat, and tears, time, energy, and money. And it's about $10K. Well, I have one lady that says, well, why is it so much money? And this is an exchange between her and my assistant. And I'm reading the exchange and I just giggle. See, oftentimes people say, I want this, I want to lose weight, or I want to have a greater marriage, or I want to be fulfilled. So tell me, I want this, whatever that is. CEOs want to go triple their revenue. CFOs want to have the books in line and make sure there's enough money for the company. Bodybuilders want to have more muscle and be on stage and win Mr. Universe. There's husbands and fathers out there who want to be better men. I want this, I want this, I want this. And then when it's come time, the time has come to pay up, to pay the price. People why does it cost so much? Or how much is that going to cost me? It's crazy. It's absolutely ludicrous and a travesty that people would say, well, how much is that going to cost me? After they told you, I want to have an amazing marriage. I want to be so happy. I want to be connected to God. I want to be stronger spiritually. I actually want to have an incredible, dynamic, deep, loving, open, meaningful relationship with my children. I want to be able to travel to Paris. I want to be able to travel first class. I want to be able to eat chocolates. I want to be able, go to Fiji. I want to write a book. I want to be a coach. I want to be, this lady, her whole thing was, I want to empower people. I want to, and it was the I want to lead people. I want to help them transform their lives. Then when it was come time to say, hey, this is what the tuition is, that. Well, why does it cost so much? Are you kidding me? Really? See, this is what's crazy. If you're listening to this and you're the person that always looks at the price. What's the price? What's the price of this? Well, can you tell me how much this costs? I gotta say this. Listen to me. The piper is going to get paid. The piper will be had. And if you think that going cheaper when it comes to something is the best route, great. Go the cheap route. Or go the free route. I don't make anything about it. But when you come back and say, why is my life so shitty? How come I have to pretend on Facebook that I'm someone special and that my life is peaches and roses when my life sucks? It's because you refuse to invest in yourself at a level that makes you stretch and hurt and do the work. I can tell you what's more costly. Right? What's more costly than investing in something, and I'm not talking about my program, I'm talking about just whatever you want to do. Oh, it's a lot of money to send my kids to this program. I'm like, well, what's the other flip side of it? You send them to the program, invest in it. If they really bring themselves, man, the return is so incredible. See, I want you to know this. If you don't pay the price now, it will cost you down the road. And it is costly, significantly more costly down the road if you don't pay the price, if you don't pay the piper now. You see this inside of people who refuse to take care of their bodies, who continue down a path of destruction in their bodies, overloading the sugar, the stimulants, the drugs, and whatever things they put in that doesn't help them to be healthier, more fit, and to lead them what they truly want. Down the road, boy, it's costly. You see this with people who die early. You see this with people who end up like going down a path that leads them and breaks them up from their family, and all of a sudden they're living in a cardboard box with the homeless and toothless down by the river thinking, how did I get here? Because you didn't pay the price early in life. You refused to pay the price, which leads me back to this lady who wanted to come to the event. Why is it so expensive? Expensive? I will tell you what's expensive, sister, and brothers and sisters listening to you. Divorce is expensive. Going to your grave with your song inside of you, having a life filled with regret, that's expensive. You never get the time back. What's costly and expensive is having no relationship with your children down the road. Living a life of what ifs, what could have been, what might have been, had I only paid the price earlier. You often hear the phrase that says, when is the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the best next time? Today, right now. So brothers and sisters, if you are that person that's always walking around, what's the price of that? How much does that really cost? Like I'll price quite a few things out. But at the end of the day, I'm just so clear about what I want, and I'm going to go pay for it. And if that means I pay a little bit more to get a greater return, I'm going to do it. Why? Because I know what I want. Look, there is a cost to being a cheap bastard. And it's a significantly high cost. And if you don't believe me, go take a look around you. Look at the people who get into their 60s and 70s who have wealth of family, wealth of spiritual depth and breadth inside of a well that's everlasting, wealth with their health, and of course, wealth financially. Along the line, those people decided at one point, I'm going to pay the price early. I'm going to do the hard things early in my life so that I don't have to pay a cost that's significantly more money down the road. What does that mean for you today? Pay the price today. Quit being so cheap. And if you don't have the money to go do something, start where you are. Yeah, if you're not ready to go live in the $1 million mansion down by the ocean, the $15 million mansion, or to drive the car, if you're not ready to go put your kids through private school, start where you are today, right now. You can pay a price from where you're at. And yes, it's going to stretch you. It's going to hurt. Every leap and bound of faith that I've made financially, spiritually, relationally, and physically has always paid dividends. And the only time it doesn't pay dividends, the only time I get no return, the only time I see no result is when I do not do the required work. When you pay for a trainer and then you don't do what he asks you to do, good luck. When you pay up for a book and then you don't read it, good luck. When you pay for a coach, like I used to do, and then don't listen to your coach for the first half of the contract. Silly me. What made me think that by writing a check that the results were going to come? No. So if you're walking around still saying things like, well, how much did that cost? Why don't you look at the results that might be possible and then be willing to act on faith that you can do the work if what you're paying for is going to yield you the systems, the tools, the mindset, skill sets, and tool sets to help you to get the result you want. Brothers and sisters, don't be a cheap bastard. Be willing to pay the price. Be willing to invest in your children. Be willing to invest in scriptures and prayer, in family vacations. Be willing to save your money and live on less than you earn. Be willing to pay a price today so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labors tomorrow. And yes, you can still pay a price today and be extremely happy today and produce today in a way that you can say, dude, my life is so good. I am the man or I am the woman who loves my life. This is the revolution. Waking up to possibility and getting out of the lies that keep men and women in bondage, in liberation, a lack of liberation. It's time. Don't be a cheap bastard. Start paying the price. Stop looking at the price and look at the cost if you don't pay the price. Start looking at what it's going to really cost you down the road if you don't take care of your body, if you don't invest in some type of spirituality with a higher purpose that keeps you grounded and connected. Start looking at the cost. What's the cost going to be if I stop and don't take my spouse out on a date every week? If I continue to look at things that would harm my marriage? What's the real cost if you don't invest in your children and you're stuck to your damn phone? What's the real cost if you don't have dinner every night with your family? And what's the cost if you don't invest in your mindset, skill sets, and tool sets to grow your financial literacy and your bank account to support the lifestyle that you want and the ability to contribute the way you want? Stop looking at the price, start looking at the cost, and then pay the price so you can get what you want. This is your boy, Satem Mangala, reminding you, if you're going to create a life of real radical results, a life that you love, it will require you to get into a relentless pursuit with the ruthless commitment to pay the piper every single day so that you can get to the top of your mountains where your prize, your promised lands, and any possibility that you want is waiting, just waiting for you. The revolution has begun. Will you join us? I'm out. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.